Way again. Costs VI, good. Another cosmic. Registration's a good thing. This hand's probably fine in this matchup. It's a little soft to turn 3 Vernier, but... Hey, Awaken. We might play some Magic tonight, too, if X-Mage cooperates. And I'm pretty sure we're streaming a bonus Paper Magic night tomorrow night. Because Matt and I and the group are getting together. Anyways, that was a good draw. It's just Sapphire Shard to let us play this Laniopause site on time. Is Elvish? I have no idea. I'm not spending any time testing Modern till after Columbus. I'd be surprised if we don't play Cord altogether. Like even the old pod decks played Cord as a 2 to 3 of, depending on the format. So Kaigalichu playing a tunneled card usually means Monsoon. We actually ripped Extinction here, which is good because that makes us less soft to the Runir Hierophant, which is nice. So next turn we'll get to play this Laniopause site out, which basically a 3-cost delayed draw 3, adds the text to our next action resource troop when you play this draw card, which is nice. So if he has Runir Hierophant now, it's going to be kind of annoying. Oh, Primordial Caves combo. Interesting. Jund is easily the best deck in Modern. You are not wrong. In fact, if I... Straight brick on the Cottontail Explorer. That's so frustrating. So this card flips over the bottom 3 cards of my opponent's deck and puts any resources revealed that way into their hand. And just got a straight brick on it. Ooh, 2 Cottontail Explorers, 1 resource. The bad beats. Modern isn't a real place. So that Reap draws a card. I'm just playing out a Sapphire Shard here. Probably cycling this Shard Prism during my opponent's end step. If he gets Archon of Nulzun sometime soon, we're going to be in trouble. So Archon of Nulzun combos with these Primordial Caves. So Primordial Caves gets secret hidden counters on it, whatever you want to call them, every time a troop enters my opponent's hand from anywhere. And Archon of Nulzun is a 6 cost that lets you search your deck for another Archon and put it into your hand. Top 5 in the world. That's probably pretty generous. I don't think it's ambitious to say I'm above average, but I don't know about top 5 in the world. I play a lot of Magic, and my reasoning is sound, but my playability definitely could improve in some capacities. All right, so there's our Shard that draws a card. So let's play that out. Transmogrifade. So we're probably if this is a Monsoon, it's coming in next turn. It tunnels on tunnels on 4. So yeah, it's a Monsoon. So this is a 3 cost or a 3/3. It's a 3 cost actually. So it comes into play with speed. So what Monsoon does is each of these had hidden counters on them, and if we would have killed these, they would have come back into play when Monsoon untunneled. So that's why we weren't killing his dorks. We're going to take a hit for 5, 6, 7. Monsoon has the ability Rage 2, so every time this attacks, it permanently gains 2 power. So we're just going to go ahead and just like take this hit for 7 here down to 17, and then we're going to cash in this Extinction on our turn and clean the board up, I think. Ooh. So actually, Balthazar draws my opponent's cards and gains him life equal to the highest, draws him cards equal to the highest power among troops he control, and gains him life equal to the highest toughness among troops he controls. So I'm going to kill this 5 power guy in response here. And he's only going to draw 1 card and gain 2 life now. This is the last time I'm going to stream on Saturday night for a long time. My travel schedule for the next few months is just like I have all the traveling to do. So I'm actually going to reap this Balthazar. And the reason why I'm reaping this is because I want to draw a card. And I also want this Balthazar in his graveyard. Because this Uranaz is my bomb. It's a 7 cost that says whenever it comes into play or deals damage to my opponent, I get to put a troop from their crypt into play under my control. So that Balthazar, we're going to put Uranaz into play, take his Balthazar, and then draw 5, gain 5 ideally. hex.tcgbrowser.com. Yep. Alright, there's Runear Hierophant, so Extinction's probably going to come into play, which means that probably our next turn is going to be activate our champion power for our Oracle Song, draw 2 cards with that, and then follow up with Extinction here. Yeah, I think that seems like a good line. And then next turn, we can Uranaz the Balthazar. So this will draw us up to 8 cards. Ooh. Relentless Corruption lets us draw cards off our opponent's deck, which is always fun. Extinction wipes out the board. So I've had several people ask me why we're playing Reaps instead of just more kills in this deck, and there's 2 reasons. One is that we want to be able to kill artifacts, which kill doesn't destroy artifact troops. And 2 is that... ooh, my opponent triggered their Primordial Caves there when they activated this and returned the Cheese Smythe to their hand. So they've got Tyrannosaurus, Hex, and a Cluckodon. They got 2 random dinos. And then Balthazar is going to draw him 6 cards here. So we've got a game, and he hit some more stuff in there. That's... well, we went from really ahead to probably behind now. This is likely another Monsoon. I guess the good news is we do get to... God, do I even want to Uranaz next turn? I probably do. I also just like Vampire King. Getting Vampire King online doesn't seem awful. Thanks, Rogue. Although I guess Vampire King's really not online because he hit 2 flying robots. This game went downhill really fast. Kind of need to hit like a Mass Polydingler or another... yeah, I don't even know if we have live draws because he pretty likely has found an Archon of Nulzun by now, which lets him go nuts with these Primordial Caves. So I guess Mass Polydingler lets me stay in this. Alright, that's not Mass Polydingler. So what's the best line here? There's 1 Archon in his crypt. I guess I'm just supposed to Uranaz... I'm supposed to Uranaz his Balthazar and try and find the 1 Mass Polydingler I've got in the main deck. I would like to activate this, and I would like your Balthazar. So we'll draw 5 and gain 5 life here, because we have a 5 power and 5 toughness guy. None of those are the droid we were looking for. Well, move to end step here. Do I want to transmog one of these dorks? I probably want to transmog one of his guys, just to like be resource efficient here and have to discard 1 less. And I'm going to get rid of one of his flyers. Hopefully, this turns into a random troop that costs 1 less. Okay, so now we have to discard a few here. Probably just shards. 2, 3. This card, Archon of Nulzun, is the card that combos with Primordial Caves. So basically, this lets you pay 2 and put 1 Archon into your deck and get another Archon into your hand. So every time you pay 2, you put 6 counters on your Primordial Caves. Croc's pretty good. So, Crocosaur fights 2 things when it comes into play. So, both my guys die. Any attack for 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 here. So, we're not done on board. We got 1 more draw at Extinction or Mass Polydingler. Yeah, it's pretty strong. So, we are going to be done on board here. Our opponent is playing Extinction, So we have an extinction off of our deck, and then we can draw an extinction off of their deck as well. I suppose we could technically be in it with King King, but that... Oh, yeah, it has Archon too. Yeah, so my opponent has an Archon in their hand, so they're searching the Archon back up, which triggers these. Looking for Mass Poly Dingler basically is the only out. Did not find it, so we'll just go ahead and concede. We get a second Mass Poly Dingler post reserves. We get some Chaos Keys to take care of his Primordial Caves. Maybe Verdict of the Ancient Kings. We definitely want Dingler. I don't want Transmografade. I don't want Exarch of the Egg, I don't think. We want these Chaos Keys in here. And I think I'll take a Counter Magic, perhaps. Yeah, one Counter Magic's probably fine. I'm playing 61 cards in my main because I'm a heathen. Declan Scott. Yeah. Well, it's getting kind of dark down here, isn't it? Dad's going to turn the light on for you. Be right back. I'm going to turn the light on. Is it okay if he comes up? Okay, I'm just going to leave the door open. He can do what he wants. Alright, I'll go first here. Yeah, seems good. I like Relentless Corruption in this matchup. Inquisition's also okay. So, against a normal Kaigalichu build, I wouldn't leave Inquisition in post reserves, but I need a way to break up his Archon combo, so Inquisition has to come in. Yeah, his deck has mostly reasonable cards except for the combo, and like the combo's not like completely embarrassing. Like his Archons are like functional cards. They're a little expensive, but like they're not just dead. They're not just bricks. Alright, so he's got one piece of his combo. He's only got I've run this game before. We're gonna try and start shard screw our opponent a little bit here. We're just gonna take the Cottontail Explorer out of this mess. And hope that he misses a shard or two here. He's only got one shard in his hand. So let's do that. No, I don't spend money or time on pre-releases unlimited. This is, in fact, I am traveling for TCG-related things for the next 7 weeks in a row, so this weekend I am just at home. So Relentless Corruption is a really sweet card if you haven't seen this before. It draws cards off of our opponent's deck, and it turns the thresholds that they require into blood thresholds so we can guaranteed play them. And the first one draws one card off their deck, and then the next one draws 2 cards off their deck, and then it draws 3 cards off their deck, etc. And after we cast this card, you see it didn't go into my crypt there. It goes back into my hand every time you cast it. And we actually drew a wild shard off my opponent's deck, which is hot, considering he definitely wants to draw that. He found another one. That's fine. So his hand is Cheese Smythe, Archon, Rancor, or Uranaz right now. I'm just going to jam, and we drew another one. So this one's going to draw 2 cards off their deck, and this one's going to draw 3. I'm just going to jam this Vampire King in here because my opponent has 3 troops in their hand at least right now. So this card's kind of cheesy in the most literal sense. At the start of every one of my opponent's turns, it creates a random cheese and puts it into my opponent's hand. So we'll see. If he doesn't have a vampire or a removal spell for this Vampire King right now, he's going to be in big trouble. Oh, he got an Archon back into his hand, which is not good for him, because when Vampire King hits my opponent, it reveals a random card from their hand, and if it's a troop, we get to steal that troop. Oh, he got one shard into his hand, so right now we know he has a Cheesesmith, 2 Archons, an Uranaz, and then a Wild Shard, and a Rotten Rancor. So we know we have at least a 4 in 7 chance of taking a troop with this Vampire King. He's going to attack, we're not going to block. And then he has a piece of cheese as the 7th card. And the piece of cheese could be a Cheese Goliath. So, the cheese, there's one troop cheese and then 1 constant and 1. 7 weeks. 7 weeks isn't even my record. It's definitely a lot, but like when IQs were a thing, I definitely had a time stretch where I was traveling. I think it was 13 weeks in a row. We were going places. Maddie and I have done a lot of crazy stuff. It's nice. It's nice not having events every weekend most times anymore. The fact that the opens are spread out a little bit now. Decking him is definitely a real option. Survey says we got an Archon, so that comes over to our side of the board here and turns into a 2/2 with Flight and Life Drain. Landing Sight gets us some draws in the bank. Hopefully we'll find another shard next turn so we get to play 2 3s. Actually, I guess we don't even have to draw a shard off our deck, right? If one of the top 2 cards of his deck is a shard, we can Relentless Corruption. One of those weeks is Gen Con, where I don't plan to play any Magic. Hex has a booth there, so we're going to be doing Hex-related things and just walking around playing board games and stuff, too. So opponent's hand is Archon, 2 Cheese, Uranaz, Archon, 2 Cheese, Uranaz, Rotten Rancor. Okay, so we have a 2 in 5 at minimum, possibly higher. I'll try and grab some swag from Gen Con. Probably to give away on stream. That sounds fun. Or give away to subs. One of the two. So, this is probably a Monsoon. I'm assuming that's the only Tunneler he's playing. So this second Cheesesmith he put into play has a counter for Monsoon on it, so we don't want to kill that one. Another, Relentless Corruption that draws a card. So we get to draw our top card and his top 2 cards. Come on, Shard. Come on, Shard. Shard that makes a temporary resource. There we go. So now we play a Wild Shard. And then this Relentless Corruption draws 3 cards off my opponent's deck. He's so corrupt. He's so corrupt. And look at that. See, there's the Cheesesmith that's been turned blood. And unlike when that happens on Magic Online because it's a graphical glitch, that should happen here. Crunch. We both have 5 power, but my 5 power is life draining. Survey says Rotten Rancor, which is not good enough. So Rotten Rancor not doing a whole lot right now. Rotten Rancor puts a troop from my opponent's crypt into play and makes it fight one of my things. He only has 2 2s in there right now, so not terribly scary. Opponent's got 4 pieces of cheese in their hand right now. And this Relentless Corruption is going to draw 4 cards next turn. Plays the Archon. Target troop gets minus power equal to this troop's power. So, again, the Archon does stuff. So, this comes into play. It's going to give my Vampire King minus 4 power here. So, my Vampire King can basically no longer attack. And this Archon and this Cheesesmith have the Monsoon counters on them. So, I can't really attack with them. No, the cheese he makes will still be wild, which is a good thing that I'm drawing wild thresholds off my opponent's deck. So we're going to play this. I think we're going Lanu Sight plus Cheesesmith. Yeah, that seems fine. And then crunch in with this vampire here. It might even just be worthwhile cashing in this Extinction next turn. Maybe I should have even just cashed in the Extinction this turn, since I have a second Extinction to clean up after the Monsoon brings things back into play. Yeah, that's very possible. I should have just, like, held this and then cashed in an Extinction this turn. Yeah, the more I think about it, the more I probably should have done that. It's Cheese Smythe, right? Cheese Smythe? I think it's technically Cheese Smith, probably pronounced that way, but I like saying Cheese Smythe. So he's probably going to crunch with everything here. Alright, those attacks make sense. I think I'm going to trade these two and chump here. This one shouldn't have the counter on it. He's got a bunch of cheese in his hand at this point. We've got 4 draws off the top of his deck, plus we've got 3 draws coming up from our Lanupause site, and then 2 draws off our Oracle Song if we need it. So yeah, I think I definitely should have cast the Extinction last turn instead of playing the Cheese Smythe. Even though he has this Monsoon here, like, we've got these 2 Extinctions, and we've got, like, draws off our deck and draws off his deck coming up, so I think I definitely should have done that. I could have been down, like, I could have been playing Cheese Smith this turn and, like, having it in play. Kraken Barrel Cheddar, that's one of the cheeses that he has, so returned a card from his crypt to play. Earn your Hierophant, sure. I think I am gonna, we're definitely cashing in the Extinction this turn. Inquisition, that's pretty good. Let's start with that actually and see what he's got going on. It's Inquisition that draws a card. Ooh, Chaos Key. A bunch of Cheese Goliath, a Rotten Rancor, and an Urnaz. Well, I'm going to take his Urnaz away. Am I taking the Urnaz away? Yeah, I'm just going to take the Urnaz away. Crunch for 2. I guess he couldn't play the Urnaz without another Threshold, so maybe that was a little loose. And I'm going to Extinction. He's got a bunch of Cheese Goliaths in his hand. A bunch of these cards are going to come back into play when this Monsoon untunnels, but we can just Extinction those away again, like I mentioned earlier. We've still got 2 draws coming up off a Lanupause site. We've got 2 draws off our Champion ability, and we've got 4 draws off this Relentless Corruption, so lots going on here. It's also worth noting that my opponent cannot cast Rotten Rancor while I don't have a troop in play. So Rotten Rancor returns a troop from my opponent's crypt, and it fights target troop I control. So if I don't have a troop to control, he can't fight anything. Is how it works, basically. Excuse me. Relentless Corruption. Yeah, let's draw a bunch of cards off his deck. And now this one's going to draw 5 cards. Sounds great. Play this, and now I have a Rise Again here. That sounds hot. And Rise Again returns a troop from any crypt into play under my control, so I can take his Urnaz back, actually. I kind of want to do that. Huh. So this is so the thing is, this Monsoon's coming into play next turn. I think I'm actually going to play this Runir Hierophant out as basically a chump blocker, and next turn he can, and then I can activate my Champion ability and draw 2 this way, and then next turn I can Extinction plus Rise Again, because I want to catch his Monsoon and everything that comes back with an Extinction next turn for sure. So I'd much rather not use this Rise Again before that happens. And that resource draws 2 cards. All right, we still had another one off the previous one. Yeah, they haven't integrated how they're exporting deck lists from ladder games yet, which is a little unfortunate. So again, he gets to bring back those 3 guys that we mentioned. So this guy is going to attack for 5, so we're going to chump here, and then we'll eat 7 and go to 19. And then again on my turn, like I said, we will go Blood Shard, Extinction, Rise Again to Zuru. And this block should scream you're getting Extinction, then he probably won't play anything else out, but if he does, I'm fine with that, obviously. Primordial Cave, sure, that one makes sense to play out because it's not going to get swept away. He's got some Cheese Goliaths and stuff in his hand. He's got Archon going. I guess he wants to use this right away now before I can Chaos Key him. So actually, now that that's a thing, I think we're going to Chaos Key my opponent. Yeah, I'm just going to Chaos Key an Extinction this turn now. So Chaos Key pays 5 and it voids target thing. So he's probably going to... Nope, no Archon in response. All right. Well, let's just play this and then cash in the Sweeper. So don't get to Rise again this turn, but getting the Primordial Caves off the table is definitely a priority. There's the Cheese Goliath we knew he had. I think he's got 1 or 2 more. Ain't easy being cheesy. Alright, well, let's cast Rise again on his Uranaz, and then Uranaz puts a troop from his crypt into play under my control. I would like to activate this. I'm going to get his Archon out of here. And when that Archon comes into play, it's going to give this Cheese Goliath minus 4 power. I'm going to go ahead and cast this Relentless Corruption to draw 5 cards off my opponent's deck. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Gonna have to discard. I'm so unlucky. I'm so unlucky. Boobs, dragons, and dead people. Yep, that's you know, technically correct definitions are the best kind. Should have done it first for the Monsoon. Yeah, you're not wrong. I guess. Yeah, that would have been really good, right? If I would have Relentless Corruption, Monsoon, and then Rise again. Yeah, that's pretty. Extinction. God, that would have been so good. This Monsoon would have brought them back in 4 turns. Now we could feasibly lose this game. No, that's not true. I have another Rise again here. And I can just do it. I can just do it the right way now, right? I'm actually just going to cash in an Extinction to kill this Cheesesmith. And then I'm going to tunnel. I'm going to tunnel this. And then we're going to Rise again, the Uranaz. And then Uranaz is going to steal something out of my... Oh, there's a Balthazar in here. Excellent. So we'll gain 5, draw 5. Man, when this deck gets going, man, does it get going. Just a simple man who wants to draw a lot of cards. No big deal. Crocosaur comes in and eats both my guys, but again, when this Monsoon untunnels, I'm going to get both of these dorks back, so he's just like burying himself further. The game's not done, but it is over. The game is over. It's not going to end for a few turns, but my opponent has lost. And take away your Archon. Opponent concedes. Yeah, just had it conceded a while ago. Don't want to change anything? No, I think I'm happy with what we did. Mass Poly Dingler's a heck of a card. Relentless Corruption's a heck of a card. Our Corruption drew us how many cards that game? We got all the way up to 5, so that's 1, plus 2 is 3, plus 3 is 6, plus 4 is 10, and plus 5 we drew 15 cards off of our opponent's deck with Relentless Corruptions that game. Not bad. .jpg. Are you supposed to say not bad .png now? It's the year 2016. Hope everyone's doing well here tonight. It's nice to see all of the Sapphire shards here in chat. I'm glad the subs can make it for an impromptu stream. This is game 3. I've got two. I'm only playing two Exarchs in the 76 right now, and they're both in the main deck. I cut the Exarch 3 and 4 for these two Thunderfield Elders, and they've been cute. We got to copy Relentless Corruption once, and that was pretty cool. Not bad. .webm, obviously. Yep. I'm happy everyone's here. We got over 100 people hanging out on a Saturday night watching some Hex, so thank you everyone for being here. But my subs are the most awesome, so I like to thank them individually. Alright, on the draw this game. Yeah, Inquisition on 2, Chaos Key to deal with random nonsense, VK. It's probably fine. Zero. Brick. Ah, drew 2 cards. Look at that. You get to use our private Discord server if you're sub too. It's all upside, really. Show me what you're working with. Wild Shard, and Chompasaurs. That's rude. Well, I guess we're going to take his Cheese Smites, and this Chaos Key is just like staying in our hand until we play it. Good news is he doesn't have any pressure. Yeah, I figured it's last week and I'm home for a while, Sam. We're going to do live Magic tomorrow night at Matt's house, by the way. Probably like 4 or 5 o'clock start time. We'll work out details in the Facebook chat. Is it more beneficial to you if you sub or donate? They're both useful. So, the more subs I have, the more benefits I get on Twitch, but I see a higher percentage of the donations. So, if you only, I would prefer the first $5. If you're going to donate more than $5, then I would prefer if you take the first 5 of that and put it towards the subscription. And the subscriptions are nice because you get some little benefits as well. So Thunderfield Elder prophesies onto our deck here. Hopefully it doesn't hit something silly. Hopefully it hits like Linu Pawsight or Relentless Corruption. That would be ideal. So opponent's hand right now is Chomp. That's a good draw. So now we're going to have to wait till 7 to Chaos Key this, because we can't Chaos Key for 2 because our opponent has two Chompasaurs in hand that we are aware of. We are only playing Standard until after... Actually, Vampire King Suite here, because it allows us to pressure our opponent's Chompasaurs in hand, which is nice. We are only playing Standard till after this next weekend because the new Standard format and all that jazz. Probably should have... I should have attacked first before playing the VK. I'm always sloppy like that while I'm playing and talking. So, opponent has Chomp... Oh, this is an Extinction. That's why. Yeah, definitely should have waited because opponent was definitely casting Extinction to kill the VK. So they got extra value. Yeah, just... Ooh. Ooh. Candy. So this doubles itself because of our Thunderfields here. Actually just mono Chompasaurs. Well, this is really unfortunate because I actually don't care about Chompasaurs. They're just like we just wait until this says 7, and then that's really annoying. This is the only target for Chompasaur, so... Did I say Seer? I do that all the time. Whatever Thunderfield there is. Whichever Thunderfield it was. And that was a great top deck. Ugh. That wasn't a good top deck for us. I think I'm supposed to play... This is tough. So if I play it, it gets me closer to this. If I cycle it, it gets me closer to a possible answer to something. I think I'm going to cycle it. We need an extinction. I'm going to get our second Sapphire threshold here. I guess getting closer to Uranaz is okay, but this rabbit's going to make rhinos and kill us pretty quickly. Uru a chomp. Ooh, that's good too. Uru a chomp. That sounds great. So this is hitting us for 2 and giving him a 3/3. So I think we're doing like 4 turns to this. So hopefully we hit a shard this turn and next turn. I might actually reap this dork this turn if we hit a shard. VK. I'm going to play Linoplot Slide out because it gets us to an extinction faster. And then next turn I'm probably reaping a rhino. So we're taking 8 or 6 this turn. I guess VK can also like put rhinos on check as well. Maybe I should have played the VK out here because it can block the Runir Hierophant, but he probably would have just played the Chomp out to make it into a 4/4. Opponent can activate this here. If it's any troop, it's going to trigger the Primordial Caves. Yep. Oh, maybe not. Maybe my timing's off. Monsoon. Okay, that's annoying. So the rhinos that he makes from here on out are going to get triggered by... Yeah, straight brick. Good. That's good for us. So the last card in my opponent's hand right now is a Chompasaur. Things are getting out of hand. Alright, shard that draws a card. Extinction. Alright, into another shard. That's good for us. So we can play... I'm going to play Vampire King out here, which will encourage my opponent to play their Chompasaur out. And then next turn, we can play Uranaz and grab one of my opponent's Chompasaurs out of their crypt and eat the Primordial Caves, which is nice. So we're taking 8, 9 here when we block this, and then we'll gain 3. So we're taking 6 altogether down to 9. Oh, we're taking 1 more here because he's playing this out, obviously, because he doesn't want to take a Vampire King. He's saying, no, I don't want to kill my own Primordial Caves. So, ship with the squad. Yeah, it's definitely the right line. And then we want to make sure we block this rhino because this rhino is under the benefits of Monsoon. And we're looking to run off a couple of shards into a Mass Polydingler here is the ideal sequence for us. Extinction. Okay. So this Monsoon is going to bring back these 4 things, but not for a little while. So I'm actually just going to ship in with the Vampire King here, and then Extinction plus activate my Champion and Oracle Song. Sounds lovely. Sounds nice this time of year. Oh, and then we have a Mass Polydingler. Sweet. So this game is, things are turning up Millhouse, as the kids say. What's that, Penta? Second Mass Polydingler. Oh, you didn't. You were on a little bit of delay, so you didn't hear me talk about what we were going to do with the extinction. Okay, got it. Chlorophylia. Yep. That card does nothing. Nothing. We play this Uranaz. Oh, and this Uranaz can take the Chompasaur that has the Monsoon counter on it. Yes, so we want the top Chompasaur. And this gains us 3 when this destroys the Primordial Caves, which is nice. So he's going to get 2 rhinos and a Cottontail, whatever, back to his hand. So we're going to 14 here. And actually, we're going to be able to put the Cottontail into play under our control with this Uranaz, which is nice. Is there anything else? Any other candy in here that we might have missed when you're flipping stuff over? No, not really. That's what you could call a good top deck. That's fine. We've got 2 Dinglers. We're going to take 5 from this when it comes into play with speed, but... Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, Freak of Nature. Yeah, I'm gonna put this. I'm just gonna play this Freak out as a gain 5. We're just gonna play it out and then. Oh wait. Cancel. I want to play this Chaos Key. Oh, hopefully I picked the right Chomp. If the Chomp comes into play here, I'm gonna be annoyed. God damn it. That's really annoying. There's no way to know which one had the hidden counter on it, and it must have rearranged things. Yeah, that's super frustrating. So the Chomp, that was the one that got the Monsoon counter on it. I wasn't able to track it accordingly. Bleh. I guess it doesn't matter because I'm going to Mass Poly Dingler. I'm pretty sure you're just not supposed to play that out, though, because if I Extinction you, you're super sad, and this is a follow-up play. Because I'm going to Mass Poly Dingler our opponent, it actually doesn't matter, because the Mass Poly Dingler gets the troops that are in their hand as well. So let's block here. Alright. Raise your Dinglers! And then I think I can actually... Oh, this requires wild thresholds. Okay, so I can't actually do that yet. Maybe I should have... I couldn't reap any. So if he plays his Freak of Nature, we will reap it to get wild thresholds. Hong Kong Hui with the new sub. Thank you for that. I appreciate the support, mate. Welcome. I know you've been around a while. And this Corruption draws 2 cards off my opponent's deck, which is nice. It's nice. Very, very nice. Ooh, Arcana Null Zune. Do I really care about that? Probably want to wait till he plays something out. My opponent's talking about how I talked about picking the wrong Champus art. It's like, yeah, I clicked the one that was on top, but apparently the graveyard order is random. And he's like, yeah, it is. And I was like, I'd consider that a bug more than a feature. So he played out a green wild card here. So we get to go ahead. We get to go ahead and reap his Champusor. And the benefit of this, not only is killing his 4/4, but because we now have blood, wild thresholds, we can return this Freak of Nature to play that we have in our crypt by putting 4 troops back into our deck. And this Freak of Nature has been getting bigger in our crypt. Bigger and bigger every day. I guess I'm actually going to play this Archon out. Might as well just get more pressure on the table. That got -power. And at end step, the Freak of Nature gives a random troop my opponent controls -1/-1 permanently, so it'll kill a Dingler. The Dingler slaying cannon. We've got another shard here, and we've got 4 here, so we are only 2 more shards away from activating this. Opponent gets to activate their champion here. Crocosaur, the card that punishes us for playing out the Archon. Although I guess if he wants to fight both of these, I'm fine with that. I'm assuming he's going to want to fight here. Yeah. Apologies for the Facebook notification sound. Forgot to put my phone on. No interruptions. He's putting his own Freak of Nature into play here. Kills us in 2. Might have to Dingler just his 1 Freak of Nature here. He doesn't have another one in here, right? I'd be surprised if he had more than 2 in his 75. Yeah, that's a brick. Huh. So my Freak, I don't have... Freak requires 4 creatures in my Crypt. I think I'm going to go ahead and take 1 hit from this before I Dingler. I don't think he has Inquisitions in his deck, that which would be the card that punishes us for waiting. So yeah, I'm gonna wait 1 more turn here, because if he draws like a troop, we can Dingler both of them. Yep. And it's exactly what he drew. So he drew a troop, so we used our life totals resource here a little bit. My opponent's doing okay. He's got 4 minutes. It's probably more than enough time to finish this game. Like, I'm up significantly on my opponent on time, but I think 4 minutes is going to be plenty of time for this game to come to a natural conclusion. Let's Dingler them with the second Dingler, which gives his guy his power back. And, you know, even if we draw another shard next turn, this shard is going to put us to our 14th charge, or our 7th charge again, which will let us draw 2 more cards. So we're going to see 3 cards next turn. So long as we don't brick, even if our opponent draws gas, so long as we don't triple brick, we're going to be okay. And he bricked as well, so even if we triple brick now, we've still got more time to hit more draws. I think our Relentless Corruptions are up to drawing 3 cards off their deck now, so would not mind seeing one of those. And the Shard Prism is fine because it replaces itself. And this is one of the things I want to talk about. Like, a lot of people look at this deck and they say, well, 27 shards is too many. Well, in the late game like this isn't a shard. This is just a pay 3 cycle it, which is great. Ooh, and this has a draw card on it. And this is drawing 3 cards. Let's go ahead and see what we get. Survey says, Rune Ear, Cheese Smythe, sign me up. Ooh, it's a big Rune Ear too. And we have double Wild Threshold, so it is Spell Shield and makes things. The second Dingler is great. I'm just a simple man that wants to draw all the cards. You know, it doesn't matter if the cards are being drawn from my deck or my opponent's deck. I would just like to draw all of them. Thanks to Reap, we reaped one of his guys. We actually don't have him on that fast of a clock right now, but we have the card advantage in the initiative here. Opponent concedes, sure. Work our way up the ladder. Oh no, Thomas, the tank engine ended. It's a crime. Go, Thomas. Draw more cards from their deck than they do. Yeah, basically, it's a good time. Draw all of the cards. What place am I? I am 18th on the Cosmic Ladder. Let's take a look at that, actually. Leaderboard. GG champion. Yassi is currently number 1. Oh, that's limited. They're both number 1. They must be have the same points or whatever. I was not a Kickstarter backer. I found Hex long after that. I found Hex shortly before it came out of beta. Look at that. Are we at the full 100? We are at the full 100 now. That's sweet. I queued quick. Hopefully it's someone new. I would like to go first. I'm going to keep this. Some hands need to draw shards. Some hands need to draw non-shards. We get to play every card we draw. A lot of the Bombus decks are the Prophecy Burns. They're not killing us before turn 7, so we're going to have to draw 2 more cards with this hand, even if we pick up another shard or 2. So let's see. I wouldn't fault anyone for mulliganing this, but I'm a big fan of the Wide Eyes Snap Keep 7. If you never mulligan, you'll never lose because you mulligan too low. You know, just good, straight, pure logic. And before you tell me I'd never keep hands like this in a real tournament, I keep hands like this in real tournaments all the time. Sometimes you just got to be a little luckier than your opponent. Interesting. Kind of a unique build here. Always like to see that. He's got 2 pretty powerful cards in his hand. He's got the Landing Sight and the Thunderfield Elder. The Landing Sight is guaranteed value, whereas the Thunderfield Elder can kind of have variance in what it can hit, so we're definitely going to take the Landing Sight away. Yep. Yeah, he's here. And he's trouble. You're trouble, toddler. You can't mold a 5 if you keep 7. Yeah, exactly. You know, just good, solid logic. I remember I was playing a bubble match for day 2 at an open, and my opponent, it was in a, I was playing, God, what was I playing? I think I was playing at black-white control. Yeah, definitely. I was playing black-white control versus like an abs and aggro, and my opponent thought seized me on 1, and I had kept 6 lands, Blighted Fen, with a Blighted Fen and a creature land in it on 6 cards, and he just like, he looked at me like, what? Our draw non-shards plan has not panned out so far. That's a good first non-shard to draw, though. I am a fan of drawing more cards, and that one definitely does that. So next turn, if my opponent has a shard, they can play out the Emberleaf Invoker, and that does close pretty quickly. Arcane Focus is free for my opponent because Cyclone Shaper makes all their actions cost 1 less. So another hand has Thunderfield Elder, Emberleaf Invoker, and then there's 2 cards we don't know currently. I'd love to draw an Extinction next turn, or a shard that draws a card into Extinction. Alright, that's a shard, but it draws a card. Transmogre Fate. I'm actually going to play this now just because it lets me draw a card. It also takes my opponent off of getting extra resources next turn. Oh, that's a... Please have less than 2 power. Please be poopy. Please be poopy. Burn me. Sure, yep. Still a 2-1. That's unfortunate. We might actually die before we get to activate our champion ability. That's terrifying. I think I'm going to transmog this. I really need to get lucky here, and yeah, that's still going to let him play out his other guy. It saves us 1 point of damage, but he's still going to put us to 10 and then play the Emberleaf Invoker, which is exactly lethal on board. So need that Extinction now. Oh, remember when I said you could never lose? Alright, good. Do we all believe me yet? So, we don't know any cards in our opponent's hand right now. That's pretty good. Don't burn me out. Don't do it. Have a heart. Ooh. Ooh, under the gun again. Kinda wish I hadn't used the transmog. Yeah, we'd be in a super good spot if I hadn't used the transmog. So we're going to 3 here. We get to draw 3 cards this turn, but it's not looking good for our hero. The extinction was what we needed, but I was a little bit too aggressive with the transmog. Alright, make him kill us. Yep, dead. Alright, good game. I mean, opponent doesn't know that we were sandbagging, that we kept a bad hand. Like, I don't necessarily know all of our dirty secrets. Vampire Princess, Vampire Kiss. Don't like Uranaz, don't like Mass Poly, don't like all of the extinctions. Reap's a little clunky. I don't think I like Exarch of the Egg in this matchup. Maybe I want a couple verdicts. Yeah, a couple of verdicts seem fine. Maybe a verdict counter magic split. I don't want to draw a ton of those, but 1 or 2 is probably okay. Let's give this a go. No, I played 2 transmogs that turn. I played the first transmog just to draw a card, and then I ended up playing a second one in the Thunderfield Elder as well, trying to prevent him from playing the Ember Leaf Invoker. It might ghost. Okay, that's fair. Sure. It's better than the last one, right? Set the bar real low. A bar so low we can walk over it. Awkward. Shard of Cunning for Sapphire on 1 is always awkward if we have that chance to draw Inquisition on 2 and then not be able to play it, but we're obviously just playing this out. It's the correct line. Does he have the 1-drop? He does. That's pretty good. Whoa. So if we're a true professional, our opponent is not going to get their Prophecy card this turn, and we will Relentless Corruption it next turn. Arcane Focus probably means they're getting to their Prophecy card, but maybe it's 4 down instead of in the top 3. Yeah, that'd be great. We're still going to Relentless Corruption next turn because if our opponent plays Line of Pause Sight on their following turn, we have a second Relentless. Ooh, huh. That's tough. I think I'm going to Relentless Corruption on the off chance that my opponent didn't draw their Prophecy card yet, as opposed to Line of Pause Sight, because like I already have the old Flickering Gerbler. Sure, I'm probably happier with them not having that card. They have Line of Pause Sight? No. Huh. Interesting. I think... Huh. I don't want to do nothing here. I definitely don't want to do this. This is for when he plays another Prophecy card out. So it's between Vampire King and Line of Pause Sight of my own. This feels like a verdict of the Ancient Kings here. It could also just be like a Crackling Bolt, though. Or a Crimson Bolt. I'm going to play the VK out because I think it's the highest upside play. But let's see. Alright, just a Crackling Wit, too. I'm surprised he didn't... Maybe... Oh, so I'll bet you he's on Verdict. Because if he wasn't on Verdict here, he would have cast Crackling Wit on his last turn to make a Bumblebot, most likely. Burn, draw a card. I'm assuming this is going to die to Crackling Bolt or something like that. Yeah. That's fine. He's going to make a Bumblebot, crack us for 2. Next turn, we can go Shard, Landing Pause Sight, Knob Gobbler him. Get our aggro on. Ooh, combat training. Let's lead on this and see what we find. I'm gonna take his Crackling Wood away. I'm gonna play a Shard. This might be greedy. I could have like taken the combat training there and like transmogged his Bumblebot, but this actually was a pretty poopy draw because we can't play it on the defense. We're definitely not the aggressor in this matchup. Probably gonna have to Relentless Corruption our opponent next turn if we don't find anything to do. So he's splitting those up like a smart guy. He's going to crack for 5 here. So his hand right now is a shard and now a combat training. Alright, could be anything. Even another shard. Let's draw 2 cards, and I'm sure they're going to draw Lanoplastite as soon as we do this. Alright, well, we got their Lanoplastite. So we're taking 6 next turn, down to 9. Really looking for that extinction. If he finds a Knob Gobbler this turn, the game's probably too far out of reach for us. Then a combat training his other Bumblebot here. Yeah, that's it. So, okay. So you're staying, there's a chance. I mean, okay. Play this, draw a card. We have 3 extinctions in our deck. Vampire King that draws 3 cards, alright. Hopefully that doesn't die. I'd like to dream that I live in a world where I get to start another turn with this card in play. Because if I get to combat training my Vampire King, I would be pretty happy. Be most pleased. The old ancestral Vampire King, right? Well, we're casting our Lanoplastites, we're casting his Lanoplastite, and you get a Lanoplastite, and you get a Lanoplastite. Everybody gets a Lanoplastite. This should be no attacks here, I'd imagine. Good, sweet. Huh. So I think I'm supposed to lead on. I think I'm supposed to lead on my champion ability here, as strange as that sounds. Or maybe I'm supposed to lead on the shard that draws a card. That's where we're definitely supposed to start. Huh. I do have a Lanoplastite, you're not wrong. I suppose I could just play this and like hold up Verdict and Transmog. Yeah, I don't hate that, actually. Yeah, let's just do that for now. I don't think we're dead on his next turn with this line. Oh, I actually could have Knob Gobblered him there, right? Yeah, I missed because I'm holding up Verdict plus Transmog, which only needs 3. So yeah, I definitely should have cracked him. Missed 3 points of damage there. He definitely wasn't going to block, but I definitely missed damage. So his hand is combat training X right now. And we're just going to draw a fistful of cards here, hopefully. Alright, Thunderfield Elder gets his block on. Inquisition gets the discard on. Ooh, that's the card that's going to put the game away. Verdict of the Ancient Kings. That's a poopy card for that to hit. Resolves. I think I'm just going to kiss his 2 guys now. Just don't give him a chance to draw a Verdict of the Ancient Kings here. This is going to let us crunch through these. We're going to go up to 13. This puts our Verdict shields down, but I think I'm fine with that. And I'm just going to crunch with this dork. We know his last card's combat training. Let's pass the turn. So we've bridged we have all the card advantage, but we might die to his aggression gap, so we should be good this game. Yeah, especially with him just drawing a shard there, we should be more than good. Should have combat traininged it. No, I didn't want to combat training it, because I want to transmog this guy. Who cares about transmog, right? Roar. We are the aggro deck, right? Right? That's how this works. Draw some more cards. Don't mind if it does. I'm not going to play the Vampire Princess out. I think we should just, like, hold the verdict up. Alright, game 3 on the draw. This is going to be the one that's kind of sketchy. He's got a lot of troops. Maybe I'm supposed to have 4 extinctions. Yeah, I'm actually going to... I'm going to cut this counter magic and have 4 extinctions, especially on the draw. This one verdict might be suspect, too. I'm going to play 1 Exarch of the Egg. He's got a lot of ground pounders, I guess. Yeah, his hand seems fine. We got Transmog to stop some early aggression if he's got like a quick Knob Gobbler. We've got Princess, we've got Thunderfield Elder. Hopefully this Elder hits something sweet to bury him. No 1-drop is great for us. I think the chances of us wanting to Transmog something on 2 is fairly low here, and I would definitely like to Inquisition something on R2 if we draw it. So I'm going to lead on the Blood Shard here. God, I always feel like a wizard when you talk about, like, that small percentage play that you're going to make, and then, like, the small percentage play comes to fruition. And just verdict us, that's fine. We got 2 vampires. Lanopause Sight, make a Bumblebot, hit us for 1. Crackling Bolt, hit us for 1, sure. So that must have been his draw that turn, unless he really wanted to hold the verdict up for a possible Inquisition, which I guess is fine. The fact that he already played out a Crackling Bolt here means I feel confident playing out this Vampire Princess. And I'm going to play out the one that doesn't have the extra text on it to start, just in case. If he ships with this, we're not blocking, because I'm not happy trading this for a Bumblebot plus a burn. Crimson Bolt, sure. It's down to 3 cards already. Has a Noob Goobler. Has the Noob Goobler. So, I'm going to play out this Thunderfield Elder before I play out this Vampire Princess. And the reason for this is if my opponent has any sort of burn or Crackling Bolts in their hand, they're likely going to want to play it out next turn anyways because they want to keep playing their Knob Gobbler out and have it return to their hand. So... Hey, speed. Crackling Wit. So I'm going to Transmog his Knob Gobbler when he plays it. Resolves. Before attacks here. Turn it into something without speed, hopefully. A Luck Sack. Unless, of course, it's the unlucky one. Alright. Lanopause Sight. Vampire King, that's not bad. So I guess I'm going to crunch for... Let's attack for 3, play the old VK out. Remember, the next action we draw is going to be doubled, so hopefully it's not an Extinction. Ideally, it's a Relentless Corruption or a Lanopause Sight. Something to generate some advantages. Yeah. I think I'd rather have a Princess live than a VK live in this matchup, but that might be wrong just because like the extra point of life drain is relevant. I might cash in this Extinction on just these 2 dorks here. The old destroy target non-artifact troop, and it has a copy. Well, that doesn't feel good. Yeah, I'm going to cash this in. Our life total is definitely more important than his. I guess he could have a verdict here. Okay, has a verdict. Rough. God, was this the single worst thing I could hit? Because even hitting Extinction would have been better there, right? Ugh. Just about to get buried. Gonna take me out big. Ugh. Can't even. These, again, don't kill artifacts. Alright, well that's a good beat. We get to draw his prophesied card here. And it's I was just about to say how great would it be if it's a burn. So he took away one of the 3 draws he got off of that. He does have a combat training in his hand. Alright, Shard that draws a card. Yep, I'm going to 8 here. No Knob Gobbler, no Knob Gobbler. Sweet. Knob Gobbler that turn would have been the worst for us because we don't have the kill up this turn. So combat training goes back to his hand. Ooh, piece of candy. When you play this draw card, and we got another one of his prophesied things. Excellent. Hexmeta.com. I'm going to play this out. It might be greedy. Maybe I'm supposed to just jam the princess in here. I guess we're taking 3 next turn. It's also possible I'm supposed to hold the kill up in case of a Knob Gobbler here. God, dead to Gobbler? Yeah, we're dead to Gobbler because he's got combat training in his hand. Yep, he got it. We're dead to Crackling Bolt too. I guess I deserve this. There's no reason to burn me there unless you have it. No? Okay. I'm going to lead on this because we have a copied action coming up. Maybe it's a Vampire Kiss. 2 Vampire Kings. Alright. So he definitely has draws to kill us here. Yeah, I think I should have done this last turn. Playing this out really didn't advance us that much, and this would have protected us a lot. I definitely would have been willing to trade this for his Bumblebot plus a burn last turn. I'm definitely snap trading Vampire King here. Have to. He should probably use his luck sack in all honesty. See if he's got removal for one of these. I feel like that's the game. Oh, okay. That says 1 removal for that. That could have. Alright. I think we get to go double Vampire next turn. Inquisition. Play it. Copy it. Sure. Sure. That's less good at this point in the game, believe it or not. Oh, yeah, he did miss lethal. You're right. Yeah, he could have burned me and then killed me with the Mind Spire. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. And I gave him that by not playing the Vampire Princess that one turn. Okay. Howdy, Sweet Star. Yeah, the Thunderfield Elder I played instead of the Vampire Princess that one turn just like actually did so nothing other than attack for 3. So I'd have been in a lot. I wouldn't have allowed my opponent to be in a position to win the game if I would have just played the Vampire Princess the turn I did that. If a new player, no. So how Cosmic works is, once you play through all the progressions through Platinum and you get to Cosmic, the top 100 players in Cosmic are ranked 1 through 100, and then everyone under that just plays until they get into the top 100. So you'll just have like a Cosmic sigil if you're not in the top 100 of the Cosmic players. And this season, there's no bonus or benefit for being at the top of Cosmic, which is a little annoying. I assume that's going to change. I figured they just didn't want to tie a reward into a brand new ladder that may or may not have issues with how their internal MMRs and stuff like that are working, but it's still annoying. I feel like there should be something for players at the top. Jeez, my X-Mage thing is still downloading. Not out of hard drive space, am I? I just deleted... Oh yeah, plenty of space. I just moved my Windows 7 partition. From Windows 7 VM. I have no idea what this champion does. Gain 1 life for each troop you control. Okay, so it's some kind of... so I don't like to mulligan, but this hand has to be a mulligan. And this hand's actually better. Howdy, Yed. Yeah, so opponent's just playing some kind of anti-Yotul deck, basically. Which makes me happy I'm done playing Yotul. So many... Yotul needs to let the heat die down in so many ways before he can be good again. Yotul's super powerful, but... Look at that. It's a good thing we drew that Inquisition about... Well, sweet about to get nut drawed. Yeah, it looks like they're just playing this champion instead of Running Deer, which seems a little ambitious. I feel like Running Deer is probably optimal, but... I don't know, I haven't really tested it. Maybe they know something I don't. Almost got turn 2 rabbited. Now our opponent's hand... that doesn't let them... No, Young Seer before the 4/4 is interesting. I mean, I'll take it. Under less pressure sounds great to me. So, gets to activate. This deck's definitely more fun than Yotul 2. I agree with that. Yeah, opponent has a wild shard in their hand. When we Inquisition them, they had Diamond Shard, Shard of Life, Wild Shard. Ooh, piece of candy. Definitely not just killing his 2/1 power guys, though. So, if he plays the 4/4 out, I'll probably cash the Extinction in. There's the Wild Shard that we knew that he had. Runeer Hierophant and something else. Okay, well, it's a good thing we drew this piece of candy because we're going to need it. So, what happened here, how this is an 8/8, is my opponent prophesies this to his next troop in deck -2 cost, and then this became a 1 cost with Empower, so it doubles up to a 2 cost with Empower. Yeah, it's how it is at every TCG. A lot of people that are new to TCGs are of the opinion that like, burn decks aren't skill intensive, so they like get upset when they lose to them. Escalation, gain 4. Sure, yeah, so my opponent is literally playing an anti-Yotul deck, which is great, because, like, this deck's probably... We have to get really unlucky to lose to a deck like what my opponent is playing with the deck that we're playing here. Like, our deck just doesn't care about how much life they gain, because at a certain point, we're just gonna, like, have infinite power in play. I think playing against burn decks is I like playing against burn decks a lot of the time. You have to play very tightly a lot of the time. They have a higher floor. I definitely agree with that. The floor is definitely higher. All right. Hopefully this guy hit a Relentless Corruption or a Landing Pause site. You play this, copy it. Meh. I just have more fun playing this control deck than I do playing Prophecy Burn. This deck plays the type of game that I want to play. His last card's a Justicar, right? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I thought his card was a Justicar this whole time. I'm gonna transmog this. See what it turns into. Ugh. Well, that is what you could describe. That's one way we could definitely lose this game. So transmog gave my opponent a Soul Arraignments. So now every troop that they draw is gonna get 2/2. I should have just reaped it, I guess. That's actual worst case scenario. That happened. Yeah. Well then. Okay. I have been thoroughly slain. I almost reaped it, but I was like, we could probably just like not care about most 2-drops, right? Right? Didn't attack with his steadfast. Sure, man. You do you. You do you. He's got some good troops in here. If we draw an Uranaz, we could get in this. I'm going to transmog my Thunderfield Elder twice here. Maybe it turns into something good. Ooh, it deals damage, draw a card. Survey says Arena Regular. Continue to defense, block. This draws a card. This cycles to draw a card. We get a wild threshold in case we take his rabbit at some point here. Alright, extinction, that draws a card. Well, 2 extinctions means we might be able to keep up with this. He's has a lot of cards that gain life. The fact that he's gaining so much life might matter now that he has Solar Arraignments to make all of his irrelevant troops good. Even Dingler's not good because they still do stuff. Alright, Thunderfield. Is that maybe I'm supposed to play that post? I feel like I'm just supposed to keep shipping here with the Vampire. Hopefully this hits something relevant this time around. Like a landing pause site, like I said, or all the -1 cost things, sure. Yeah, I'm going to block here, and I think I'm cashing in this extinction next turn. Yeah, we're definitely cashing in an extinction now that we have another VK. Cash in the extinction that draws a card. Ugh. Ugh. So many 3/3. Why, Solar Arraignments? Why? Why? Oh. I think I'm just skipping here for a little while and just like letting him extend until he can attack through the Vampire King and then extinction. Oh, that's worse than an extinction. It just turns all of his troops into 2/2s. I guess I'm just doing this and playing the second one out. So one VK can hold down the fort here while the second one beats down. He gets to gain 3 here. So we're hitting for 6 and he's hitting for 9. So we'd be taking 3 to hit him for an extra 3. Ooh, that's not bad. Okay, sweet. So the Exarch of the Egg means we trade this with one of his dorks. Sometime in the evening. Maybe 4 or 5. We haven't set up details yet. Yeah, it's only 9 o'clock. He might be, have you fed him? What did he eat? Casual infinite power.
Can you put on a show that Duckman works? Like Agent of the Storm sometime?
Go ahead.
Is it playing from here?
Yep. Oh, after extinction now. Because again, Mass Poly Ding will return all of these into 2/2s. We haven't tried a Relentless Corruption yet, have we? So we don't even have that going.
I'm closing this because he
Okay.
plans here
Alright.
So if you need me to get it.
Remember that time Transmog lost us a game? Pepperidge Farm remembers. At least now Urinaz gets to put 20 power onto the table, which is nice. If we could find, we're 28 cards to do our deck down without an Urinaz or a Relentless Corruption, so. We do at least have one more sweeper for if he finds another giant thing. I guess we've had a lot of Vampire Kings at least. Playing Exarchs out's actually kind of risky if we start playing Relentless Corruption. Because, if we give him spiders, they're 3/3 unblockable hexproof spiders. Alright, Vampire King, we get our race on. We have 2 void, we have 3 chaos keys in the board. 3 chaos keys in the board. Yeah, there are only 4 eggs in his deck. If he draws that stupid Escalate card at any point here, he's gonna gain 12 life, which gives him just infinite time. Opponent concedes. Alright, well he was nowhere near dead, but I will take a concession. Mass Polydingler is good in this matchup. Transmogrifade, even though it was bad there in general, isn't good in this matchup, so we're going to cut it. Counter Magic's fine. Charge Colossus is medium. Yeah, you're just going to board in the extra Mass Poly. The Counter Magic's hits a bit. I don't know if we're gonna play Magic. I might try an X Mage at some point. My X Mage is currently downloading card images. I may or may not give that a go. You're right. Normally it is not actively that bad. You are completely correct. Yeah, that sounds great. I think we're gonna Shard of Cunning for Sapphire on 1 and then Exarch on 2. X-Mage is a open source application for playing Magic the Gathering on the computer. It does full rules automation like Magic Online does. Rabbit? It is a wasquy wabbit. What happened to Bosmo Apartment, Chills? Forge doesn't have player versus player last I checked. X-Mage you can play against other people. Opponent must not have sideboard for this matchup either, because there's still the Escalation Gain Life card in their deck post reserves. The Mighty Exarch of the Egg stands guard against the Rooter Hierophant. Hopefully our opponent has some good cards to win the game with in their deck. We draw one card from their deck. Eternal Youth! Gain 8! Oh, jeez. Look at that. And then this Eternal Youth goes back into our deck, right? Yeah, it does. Sweet. Okay. It's even cross-platform Pentatils. It's Java, so it runs natively on Linux and OS X too. I've actually submitted code to X-Mage before. I've coded a couple of cards that didn't exist for Legacy. This game just isn't even fair. Yeah, this should have happened a while ago. I feel like he should have shipped with everything there. Pretty sure he just missed 3 points of damage. Yeah, like when I cast that Eternal Youth, it does not power up my opponent's Eternal Youth. My opponent's next Eternal Youth is only going to gain them 8 life. Although my next Eternal Youth is going to gain me 12. Ooh, scary. Big scary. Gonna empower an 8/8 here. Then gain 4, crack me for 3. Yep. I'm not going to lie. If I could play Hex for the amount of money I play Magic for on a regular basis, I would probably play a lot more Hex than Magic. In fact, I'm not sure if I'd play any Magic at all if I could play Hex for the amount of money I play Magic for on a regular basis. I probably wouldn't, in fact. We just have all these reset buttons. This matchup's heavily in our favor when our opponent's playing Rutherford Banks. When they're playing this champion that just doesn't do anything against us, it's super in our favor. Turbulence, sure. So the game's not over, but my opponent probably can't win anymore, but it's going to take us a while to put them into a spot where they believe that. So now we play the waiting game. The waiting game. Not because the task is hard. Yep. She's not fat. Are you calling sister fat? She's... I got a fat fox then too. We're at 30. We probably draw shards for like our next, I don't know, 12 draw steps and probably win this game still. Alright, Kismet's going to put us to the test and see, can we really draw shards for the next 12 draw steps and be okay? Raise your dinglers! Card that draws more cards, those are my favorite. Oh no, he gained 8 life. How can we win? I don't think we can win anymore, team. Ooh, candy. Ooh, candy. An extinction that draws a card. Don't need that anytime soon. Draw 2 more cards, because why not? Turbulence, my Vampire King. Oh yeah, man, you do you. Ooh, Relentless Corruption. Draw 2 of your cards. Oh no, I gave him a spider! I might extinction next turn, I don't know. Guess he's only attacking us for 1 here. Ooh, we get a spooter of our own! Oh no, he gained 12 life! Yeah, I'm just gonna cast the extinction mostly because I want to draw a card. It's mostly because I want to draw a card. Just a simple man who wants to draw cards. Relentless Corruption makes it hard to gauge how many more cards we've seen than our opponent because their deck is smaller because we drew cards off of it. how do we plan to actually kill him? We can deck him with Relentless Corruptions or kill him with his own cards from Relentless Corruptions. And we have 2 copy of Uranaz, the 5/5 dragon that takes troops out of your opponent's crypt. So it's kind of like a build their own adventure. Yeah, that's fine. They would shut it down instead of trying to save it. That's funny. I probably have to Dingler those 2. I guess I could have counter magic that, or we could just draw that. You know, whatevs. Oh no, he gained 4 life, and the next troop's gonna gain 4 more life. Oh no! And this is not a regular thing on this channel. In fact, I mentioned it earlier. The next 7 weekends in a row, I'm traveling for one gaming convention or another. We are gonna live the dream and get the 3rd Dreaming Fox activation. Dreaming Fox activation. See what I did there? I have all these dinglers and nothing to do with them. A holy ascension. You know, he might actually... I'm just going to let this happen. Because in all honesty, I don't want him to have something like that. We did draw some shards off of our opponent's deck. I think we drew 2 shards off of their deck. These Inquisitions are just dead draws. You actually can't Inquisition yourself in this game, which is relevant. Originally, when I built a Reanimator Kaigulichu deck, I had intended to be able to Inquisition myself as a discard outlet, and then I went to do it for the first time, and I was like, oh wait, I can't actually do that? I'm going to take at least 1 hit from this dork before. I don't want to just Dingler this 1/8/8, especially now that we have 3 draws coming up. Yeah, I get one more power out of it. I'm probably going to Dingler next turn if we straight brick. Now we draw 3 cards off of our opponent's deck. Oh, jeez. Now we get an 8/8 too, and I get an 8/8. Oh no! Oh no! When you empower it, it goes back to the original thresholds. I'm gonna assume that's a feature and not. Is that a feature or a bug? I feel like that could go either way. All right, now we have to Dingler. Maybe I could have taken 1 more hit there since I just... Yeah, I probably could have taken another hit because I just gained some life, but... No, it's fine. We've already got 2. We've already got 2 wild thresholds. Liner plus Sight that draws cards. Oh, look at how many cards this Vampire King draws. Just, you know, casuals. Whatevs. Whatevs. Just draw some cards. Oh, opponent. Can I draw some cards off of your deck, opponent? Give me some cards, opponent. Oh, don't mind if I does. Ooh. Ooh, pieces of candy. Ooh, a piece of candy. I would like to activate Ernaz's ability. I would like this Forever's Child. Infinite Tricks. We're gonna have to discard all these Inquisitions. That's so unlucky. Just couldn't play enough cards. 20 resources. Couldn't spend all of them.
brother over with the car. Do not run your brother over with the car. Thank you.
Apologies, they were killing each other. Do not run your brother over with the car. I guess that could be an okay one. And when someone asked what's the plan to actually win, you see, we turn the corner very quickly when we turn the corner. Gain infinite. I would like to activate this ability. I will take this 8/8, please. I would like to draw a bunch of cards off of your deck, please. It's kind of fun that they're not conceding. I haven't gotten to play this much in a long time. They're just like letting me do my thing. Get to get our prophecy on here. Get to play Shard. Get to cast this Eternal Youth. Gain some more life. How big is my Roken? That's the real question. Ooh, and we hit another wild. That's excellent. Oh, and I even sequenced this wrong. I should play the Runeair first. Just an embarrassment of riches. Just an embarrassment of riches. Ooh, just casual 35-35. Hex decided it needed a break, so this is my normal asterisk here, if you haven't seen the stream before. So I am playing Hex on what's called an unsupported setup. Hex only officially supports OS X and Windows. I am playing the Windows version of Hex on Linux through Wine, so occasionally it does that and vomits and dies. What deck? We're playing Blood Sapphire Control. Dreaming Fox, Blood Sapphire Control. It's funny, this was a deck before I added Relentless Corruption to it, but it's definitely good with the corruptions. And I only added the corruptions because I wanted to fight opposing Lanupause sites. The 35 was too big for it. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. It runs very smoothly through Wine overall. The only thing that actually doesn't work is I can't purchase Platinum through the in-game store because the in-game web browser that they use doesn't work through Wine. But everything else works perfect except for that occasional class. We're up to 13th on the board. That's exciting. Look at all the winning we're doing. Look at all the winning. TGD. I kind of feel bad beating people that are still in Platinum. I haven't had... When was the last time I had Windows installed on bare metal? It was 3 years ago now. I was using a computer that couldn't stream. It wasn't powerful enough to run Magic Online in a virtual machine. So, and stream at the same time. This hand might be a little bit too slow in this matchup. Ooh, definitely too slow against the Kilding Skarn. If we get an Extinction, we might be okay. Take a Sapphire here. Yeah, the year and a half, I guess it was a little bit less than that. It was like a year, a little over a year that I worked for State Farm Insurance. They assign us Windows computers to all their analysts. So I use that there. All of my systems now are Linux things in some way, shape, or form. I haven't had to purchase Platinum since I started playing. I do a lot of winning. I'm very lucky that way. I'm lucky in so many ways. But I'm also in their VIP program, so I basically put $8 in a month that way. So he's a burn here too. He gets to get really aggressive. I think we're just going Blood Shard Reap this. I guess if he doesn't transform this turn, we won't reap it. But if he has another action here, we're definitely going to reap it. Yeah, so he has a burn. So what this card does is it transforms if you play 2 actions in the same turn. Exarch of the Egg, right on time, right on turn 3, exactly when you want to draw your 2-drop. Cyclone Shaper. Ooh, AA Shaper. Sweet. It's very pretty. Now the question is, do I want to Thunderfield Seer or Lanupause Sight next turn? I think I want a Lanupause Sight because that gets me to Extinction faster. There aren't a ton of Prophecy decks right now, and which is nice. Yoltool Burn pushed out Prophecy Burn as the top deck because Yoltool's much cheaper to build. Like the Prophecy Burn deck's probably in the 150 range, and the Yoltool Burn deck's like sub 50 for an optimal build. That's really good. So this is every time my opponent plays an action, they draw a card now. I mean, the change is not ideal. And he has a combat training. That's gross. So we need Extinction, like, last turn. Because the combat training costs him 0 resources, and it draws a card because of this. He should just recast the combat training now, probably. Yeah. Alright. Extinction. Come on. Come on. Come on. Daddy needs an Extinction. Alright. Reap. Draw a card. Kill the one that's drawing him all the cards. It kind of sucks because it has Arcane Zephyr. Well then, I'm just gonna find a place to vomit. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. I'm just gonna have to find somewhere to throw up. Oh, that's gross. Are we dead? He's taking 8. He has a combat training for 9. TG activation is 10. So we're going to 1 this turn. Sure. I get it. I know that he's playing Arcane Zephyr. What am I going to do? Not play my Reap? Like, that's not playing a Reap is not an option there. You don't just not play your card because they could have their thing. You don't play around things you can't beat. It's just a really fantastic piece of advice I can give everyone here. If there's something you can't beat, you don't spend time playing around it. I think I want Extinction against this deck. My own Thunderfield Elder seems kind of clunky. I think I'm going to cut that. I guess it blocks. Maybe it's better than Inquisition. Inquisition seems a little meh against his 1-drop deck. Yeah, let's try this. Yeah, we're not playing for anything right now. And, like, we've won, you know, 4 matches tonight. So, like, if I was playing a gauntlet, we'd be up 4 packs right now, which would be nice. I've only played against Runeer once tonight. Twice. So we're 50% against Runeer decks. Nice, Speed. Congrats. What constructed deck did you play? I'm going to keep this on the play. It's a little slow, but just sight on 3 into Extinction on 4 to clean up whatever he gets going. Backup Extinction. Sounds good. Spends a verdict on that. Well, that kind of makes me sad since I have 2 Extinctions I'd like to draw. Bumblebot. Yep. Alright, so we're taking 4 here down to 16. Cast the Extinction. You need to activate our champion on 7 most likely. Sweet. Vampire Princess to follow up the Extinction. Although, after this Extinction, if he goes dude, we're just going to cast the second Extinction. I might even just 1-for-1 this second Extinction in all honesty. The problem is that a paid constructed gauntlet cannot exist alongside a free ladder. And it's been typed up a few times, but let's explain why verbally. So, okay. So, in a system like the Gauntlet, there's always some number of people at the bottom that are not infinite, that are constantly paying money in to pay for the people that are infinite. And if there's a free alternative to the Gauntlet like ladder, the people that are paying money in are just going to stop playing and play the free alternative. And then someone else who was previously even or infinite has to fall down to take the place of the person that was vomiting money into the system. And then eventually they stop playing and just play the free ladder. And then someone else has to take their place, etc., until there's just like no one left to actually play. God, those verdicts were a nutbuster. Just my draw 3s. All I wanted to do was draw 3 cards, TGD. Like I said, I hope that explanation makes sense. Them getting rid of the gauntlets when they added ladder was preemptive. Instead of letting them die a slow death, they just took care of them in advance. And I think that's a good move. Neat. Gonna transmog this dork into an ebony pawn. Alright, that's actually kind of scary. I don't, jeez, I really wish I would have just extinctioned him now. Shoot. We're dead in 16 turns. No, I don't play limited. I don't definitely would. I wouldn't even play pre-releases even if I did play limited. I don't think. I'm gonna hold this just in case there's knob gobblers in his deck. It's a little awkward now that I can't do this. Here's another verdict. It would suck, but. I think they could probably even tie some non-major tournaments into the ladder, in all honesty. Like, you know, like someone had a really neat idea that they could, like, have events that, no verdict, sweet. And we're in the spot where shards are good and spells are good. So if we hit a shard, we get to activate my champion ability, which is always lovely. I mean, even if we had 8-person queues in Hex, I don't think I played them. They're not good for streaming, so I wouldn't play them while I stream. And I don't think I'd want to dedicate, you know, 2.5 hours to playing an 8-person queue outside of streaming. I don't even think it's about player-based Clenendine. Again, yeah, any type of paid queue is just going to lose to what this has to, what ladder has to offer. Maybe I'm supposed to lead an Oracle song here in case he has Counter Magic or Verdict. Just doesn't. Sweet. Get to see what his last card is here. Probably a shard. Yeah. Draw 2 cards. Is that the put lands from your crypt into play? I don't foresee that card being good. And there's the Knob Gobbler. That's just attacking us for 3 and then dying. Because he doesn't have an action. But he has to play it out because otherwise the Vampire King's going to eat it. So that's why my opponent's playing this out. How many vampires does it take to concede? Just 2. 2 is the answer. You think I like how I boarded? The fact that he showed us Flickering Gobbler kind of makes me want Inquisition more. I don't think Thunderfield Editor is particularly good. Let's have some more Inquisitions on the draw. More tickle, yeah, that should... I'm probably going to screw around with that at some point. I honestly think the new Thalia could push Hate Bears into being playable in Modern. So, like, that's a combo that could very easily slot into, like, Eldrazi taxes. So maybe that deck's reasonable. You just play like, Spirit of the Labyrinth instead of Leonin Arbiter, because Leonin Arbiter's poop. Again, probably don't want to transmog anything on 2 here. Just going to choose Blood in case we draw one of those Inquisitions we boarded back up to 3 of. Rage Fire my Dome. That seems odd. Seems aggressive to do that when maybe he just has a bunch more actions in hand. Yeah, I think I definitely test with a JVL. I think playing one of that land is pretty free. Maybe there's even a green-white like taxes-ish list that plays Knight of the Reliquary to find that land. I think Knight of the Reliquary to find that land sounds great. So I'm just going to transmog its 1-drop here. And I think we're going to go Vampire Princess, activate, kiss the Stork. Ooh. Ooh, that. I think I still want to do this. This is a must answer for him. And if he answers this and plays another threat. And I'm doing this now so we don't get Verdicted or Spell Shield out of this. So this Vampire Princess, this card has such a mountain of text on it. If this is in your opening hand, it gets the ability once per turn, make your kisses free. Yep, kill my Dark. Small missequencing on my opponent's part here. They should have focused and then bolted. It gives me less information about what they're looking for with the focus. Probably going to see a Bumblebot here. Yep. I'll go ahead and play VK out here. VK does die to Rage Fire here. Worth noting. Opponent did cast a Rage Fire earlier, so second Rage Fire is going to do 4. Maybe we'll play some Jank Bot after this match. I kind of feel like playing some Jank Bot. Anyone be opposed to that? If I fire up some Jank Bot after this. If we're enjoying Blood Sapphire Control, I can keep playing because I can play this deck for forever. But I mean, some Jank Bot could be a good time. Corey Jones says there's going to be another 100K guaranteed. They said they don't have any details short up, but he said there's going to be another 100K. So I think this card is scary enough that I have to play this Extinction to kill it. I'm gonna ship with this, and yeah, I think I have to cash just... Yeah, I'm just going to play this Extinction out. That card draws him a card every time he plays any action, which is just... could easily bury us very quickly. Oh, it's... Yep. Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to play this out. And we will go ahead and draw 2 cards with this. If we had another Extinction, we'll definitely cash it into 1-for-1 as Guy. Play out my VK. This feels really bad if fielding a Crimson Bolt or a Rage Fire, but I think I'm just supposed to use my resources efficiently here. This might be incorrect. This might be bad sequencing here.
No. No.
Why Dreaming Fox, you mean, instead of Winter Moon?
No. Nobody's up there. Oh. Here, Jake. Here, Jake. 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 Declan, it's for Jacob. You already had dinner.
How many Extinctions have we played already? Just one? I really only played one? I feel like I played 2. Maybe that was last game? Alright, second Vampire King's Dice allows me to continue pressuring with this and still not die in the background. All it's going to take is one action for my opponent to snowball everything into a bad place for us. So hopefully they keep drawing troops and shards. Yep. Trooper or shard, trooper or shard, not another action, not another action, not another action, not another action. Please, please, sir, have a heart. Don't have another action in your hand.
I mean, this is hilarious.
Alright, well, combat trading in the yard means I have to trade this for the bubble bot, which is really unfortunate. Because otherwise he gets the combat trading back and then gets to draw more cards with Archmage unlock. Okay, that's a good draw. Again, it lets us keep attacking with our Vampire King, which is nice. This is not a shard, so the rest of you would have played it and made a Bumblebot. Arcane Zephyr. He's doing this because if he hits another quick action, he can make this level up. Ooh, that worked out well for us.
Yeah, you are. Monster.
Welcome back, Maddie Babati. Maddie! You the real MVP.
Funny.
What?
Oh, wait, hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4.
I don't know. Can you put them to bed? Or do you need help? I think it's correct for my opponent to do what they did there, but they definitely got punished for doing it. So I'm going to attack with both of these this turn, and the reason why I'm doing that is it puts my opponent on a 3-turn clock to just the Vampire King. So if he doesn't block, he goes to 9, which puts him dead in 3 to just the Vampire King. This comes into play and still defends for us. Declan keeps trying to steal Jake's food. Yeah, that feels like a premature concession.
He's teasing him, and then Declan tries to take it, and he pushes him.
That's so mean.